Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you all had a great holiday and enjoying your time with your family. It's almost the new year, and as we start off the new year, we have a major winter storm happening. As if this wasn't enough, this could affect two-thirds of the country here. Right now we have winter weather advisories in this purple color here that stretches all the way from central Nevada all the way into parts of Michigan and even onto parts of the Great Lakes here by New York. And in this pink color by Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin, that's a winter storm warning where you could exceed 6 inches of snow. And in the higher elevations of the mountains in Colorado, New Mexico, and parts of Wyoming, you could exceed 6 inches as well. If we take a look at the GFS here, this is the new run 18Z that just came out. You can see down in the southwest, you can see Winterstorm Ivy is starting to get its act together. As time goes on, the snow starts to expand its way up into Iowa, Minnesota, Dakotas, Kansas, and starting to make its way into Illinois and Wisconsin. By 7 p.m. Tuesday night here, the snow starts to get really heavy by Iowa and starts to make its way into the Chicago metro, and it's almost fully in Wisconsin here. By 1 a.m. Wednesday, it is starting to change over to a mix, if not rain already, by Chicago, and parts of Iowa could change over to rain at this time, such as Des Moines could change over to rain, at least depicted by the GFS. Now, Michigan is starting to become all snow, and then back down into Cleveland, you have this band of snow that's going to affect you right off the lakes that could affect the eastern part of Ohio. Ohio's been getting hit pretty hard lately with snowstorms, at least by the Cleveland area. Now, if we continue here, that rain by Chicago that snow definitely by Chicago definitely changes over to rain by this point. Michigan starts to change over and Wisconsin starts to change over as a new low pressure system starts to form in the south here. Now keep your eye on that low pressure system in the south. You can see that it takes its energy from Winterstorm Ivy and transfers it into a new storm here just south of Texas. And then that's going to track its way up again into the Midwest, causing another round of heavy snowfall in parts of Texas and into the same places as Iowa, Kansas, and even into maybe some parts of Nebraska here, as shown by the GFS. And then if we take a look into the Northeast, you could see that there's a possibility of an ice event here. Anywhere in this pink area, right just north of the city, is a pretty heavy ice event going on. At this time, it doesn't seem to be any major accumulation of ice, but that could always change due to how cold it gets. You have a high pressure system funneling the cold air down into the northeast. That's what causes the freezing rain to start as freezing rain and not just plain old rain. If we take a look at the snow totals here, shown by the GFS, you can see you have a widespread snow system that stretches all the way from through Washington, all the way into Maine, and even into the southern parts of Texas. You have your monster snowstorm totals in this area that I'm about to shade for you right now that could stretch all the way from Maine, parts of New York, all the way into central parts of the country, Iowa, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Kansas, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Arkansas, and even into parts of Minnesota and Michigan. If you take a look in the west coast, you can see in the mountains could have again another heavy snowfall right here, exceeding over partially 50 inches due to the elevation, and then that's pretty much it, at least shown by the GFS. If you take a look at the Canadian, it's almost the same thing, but not as bullish as it is in the snowfall totals for parts of the mountains and parts of the Midwest, but it does have a lot more snowfall in Michigan and Texas area. If we take a look at the NAM real quick, you can see it's not fully out to where Maine could see its biggest snowfall totals, but you can see that it's pretty much colder here for parts of Wisconsin, Iowa, parts of Michigan, and then even into parts of Kansas. If you look down into Texas, you have pockets of 12 inches plus in that green area, shown by the NAM, and then not as bullish on the snowfall totals for the mountains as the GFS, but it's still pretty really high. And if we take away a look at the European here, this is the 12Z run. The 0Z run will come out at 2 a.m. tonight, but this shall do. You have snow in Nevada, at least by 1 p.m. today, which is now 5:30, And as we take a look into the Midwest, you can see Iowa starts to get into snow, but it's a lot colder, surprisingly, for Iowa. The rain and snow line is on the border of Iowa and Illinois here at this time. So at this moment, the European looks to be colder, and then as you continue, it looks like to keep Chicago snow a little bit longer than most models here. And then if you take a look into the south again, you have your system coming up, and you have your low pressure, your high, not in the spot that you want for snow in parts of the Northeast. Your high pressure system is here compared to the GFS up here. That's why the GFS has more cold air locked in, causing more freezing rain. If you take a look in the Midwest, though, you can see you have your snow stretching out from parts of Kansas all the way into Wisconsin and into most extreme northern parts of Michigan. If you take a look at the snow totals, but this is a bit long out again from the European. It shows a snowstorm, but again, this is long out in a long range. But if you take a look at the snowfall totals, it does give a pretty big, massive snow totals here. Again, for parts of Texas, in the mountains of Canada and Washington over here. And then you have your big totals in Iowa, Wisconsin, northern parts of Michigan, and Illinois possibly, and stretching all the way back down. Now, if you take a look at my snowfall totals, this is just round one of the system that's going to be happening from today into tomorrow and even into possibly Wednesday. But round two will start Wednesday night and into Thursday. And as of right now, there's a bit of uncertainty here how where the track of the system will go. But as of right now, this is round one of Winterstorm Ivy. You have 1 to 3 inches stretching from all the way from Nevada, Utah, Colorado, all the way up into Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. You have your 3 to 5 range from Wyoming, parts of Kansas, Missouri, and Illinois, and back up into South Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Your 5 to 8 range is going to be from South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin, and Minnesota. And then your 8 to 12 plus range, which is going to be the bullseye, is going to be from central Nebraska, central parts of Illinois, and northern parts of Iowa. Excuse me, I meant Iowa, central and northern parts of Iowa, and into parts of southwestern Wisconsin. I hope you all had a great day today and enjoyed your holidays as we make our way to the new year. Have a